Hello, it's me, Critical Capture, with another video. And today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about Palworld and the situation going on between Palworld and Pokemon. I find the situation that this new game has come with and the trials and tribulations that it's gone through very interesting in the sense that people are making it out to be something that is worse than what it actually is. I've seen online and a whole bunch of discussion and discourse about how like oh, Power World is just a rip-off Pokemon. Power World is this, Power World is that. And I genuinely think that that is not the way you should be looking at it. Yes, some of the designs of some of the creatures in Power World are pretty creatively bankrupt. I can't agree with that. But it shouldn't really be seen as a direct competitor between it and Pokemon. I mean, yes, there are elements that are similar, like the capturing with the balls and the PAL spheres and everything like that, but it's something that is also a direct competitor to other games that I've also seen, like Ark. It's also a very Ark and like Minecraft in a sense. It's very different in the genre than what we're used to, which I really enjoy. I think that it is a very excellent thing to have a game like this exist, especially now that Pokemon has, and Ark to some extent, has kind of had a monopoly on both of their respective genres. Ark having a massive monopoly on Ark and Rust in a sense, having like a massive monopoly on like the survival shooter-esque genre, or mostly Ark with, their dinosaurs and taming dinosaurs and all that, which is, it's a fun game, I'm not gonna lie, but it's with the release of Ark Survival Ascended, it's not been in the best place recently. Same thing goes with Pokemon. Pokemon has had a massive monopoly since the 90s on, creature captures. I mean, there was Digimon for a little bit, but that wasn't never reached the level of success that Pokemon has. I'm pretty sure Pokemon is one of the highest grossing franchises in the entire world, if not the highest grossing franchise in the entire world, which is pretty amazing to think about. Um, but I'm glad that a game like Palworld comes along with a significantly less with a significantly smaller budget than what Pokemon is used to and produces a game that is much higher in quality than what we have with Pokemon today. And I find that a very interesting dichotomy between the two because you would think with a massive development team behind a game like Pokemon, a game that rakes in billions upon millions of dollars, that they would come out with a quality product. But apparently that's just not the case. And I find that very, very interesting on how a company can just drop the ball like that. I mean, if you have seen Scarlet and Violet and just some of the glitches and you know other things that have come out of that, it's very saddening to see how far they've dropped the ball. And then a game like Power World comes along, and it's granted it's in early access. It does have some glitches. It does have some technical issues, but it's just more of a high quality product than what either Arc or Pokemon has given us in the past like 5 years. Um, it's very, very interesting how you have a game that you can tell that has had a whole bunch of love and passion put into it, come out and make and have like 2 million players in the first couple weeks. You can definitely tell that our world does have, the vision and does have passion in the blood of the game, which with games like Pokemon, you just can't feel anymore. I think, in my personal opinion, I mean, I've been playing Pokemon for 10 years now, and I think the last good Pokemon game that they have released that was a genuine high quality product and had really good standards, I think was probably Black 2 White 2, just story wise. Um, that, in my opinion, that is my personal favorite game. Um, and same thing with Ark. Like Ark, it was a it's had its niche in the genre of survival games. Um, but it just in recent years, especially with the launch of, like I said before, with the launch of Ark Survival Ascended and the travesty that that was, um, they've just, you know, both teams, respectively, in Nintendo and Game Freak and Studio Wildcard, have just left a massive gap in the industry that Power World fits perfectly in, and I think it's a good thing. Um, I still, I mean, I understand the concern and the like not aggression, but defensiveness of Pokemon fans when they have a game like Power World coming out. It seems like the game kind of, you know, it seems like the game kind of took some of Pokemon's designs and either tweaked them a little bit or maybe, you know, ripped them off completely. Like I've seen some comparisons on, for example, X and on YouTube in general of just people comparing the designs, and I understand that. Like I get that completely. Like there's a game that comes out and is really popular for the time being, and it kind of overshadows what Pokemon, the game that you've loved for, you know, like a couple 10, 15 years and overshadows that, it's not to say threatening, but it is threatening, to see the your favorite game get overtaken like that. I get that, but I think it should be seen as not a bad thing, but a good thing instead. It shows the Pokemon developers like, hey, you guys have to get off your asses and make good games now. You guys can't release these half-baked pieces of garbage anymore. You know? Like it shows it makes it, what's the saying? It's like competition between businesses is only good for the consumer, right? And us as the consumers, we need to realize that the competition between these two companies right now is good. And what we should do is we should always support the better game. You know what I mean? Supporting a game that is objectively not as good as the other one gets us nowhere as consumers, right? So if we support, say, Palworld, that will put a fire, hopefully, under the Pokemon company's ass to be like, hey, you guys gotta you guys gotta put out a better product next time. And then if say, Pokemon company puts out a better game than Power World, I'll support that over Power World, saying, hey, whoever made Power World, I don't know what their development team's name is, but you guys got to put out or add on to your game and, you know, take that next step forward. And it's only a good thing for us consumers to have competition between these two companies. I've also heard some things on like TikTok and social media about how the Pokemon Company has essentially blacklisted Power World and is using their influence in Japan to shut down discourse about the game to stifle it as much as possible. And I genuinely think that's not a good thing. Granted, you know, I wouldn't say it's an illegal thing, but there are they're not bylaws, but it shouldn't it shouldn't happen, is what I'm trying to say. It's a very bad thing for us who where shouldn't be happening. Uh, it's very bad for us consumers when another company is trying to stifle a different company's growth, right? Again, like I said before, it's very much in the sense that we should be rooting for the better game. And in this current moment in the year of our Lord 2024, Power World is objectively the better game than Pokemon. That's it. Bar none, no stop. You look at the comparisons, Palworld launched in early access with a more stable frame rate, more stable game in general than what Pokemon has in the past couple years, with the launch of Scarlet and Violet, you know, all the you can just search Scarlet and Violet glitches and you can get a plethora. of examples, And same thing with, you know, uh, what was it, Sword and Shield, right? Sword and Shield, there was the whole Dexit controversy and the whole uh free controversy. Remember when the on that Nintendo Direct when they first, started showing off gameplay, people were freaking out over the quality of the tree. Um, and for a multi-million dollar company or maybe even billion dollar company like Nintendo and Game Freak and all that, that shouldn't be happening. We should, or not we should, but they should be striving for a better game, right? With games that have released in the past year, it just shows that the archaic and outdated not formula, but design of the Pokemon Company is just not working in this year, right? We have games like Baldur's Gate 3 come out, which were a milestone, in my opinion, for the gaming industry. Like for a game like that to exist nowadays is insane, right? And we have other games like, God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, these massive games that are being charged at the same price as Pokemon. That's crazy. If you compare the amount of hours that somebody puts into a Pokemon game, I mean, granted, there are Pokemon fans that will put hundreds upon hundreds of hours, but if you looked at it objectively, a $60 Pokemon title compared to the $60 Baldur's Gate 3 title, there should be no comparison between the two. Granted, yes, they are different genres, they are for a completely different audience, but even then, it's just not a fair comparison. Um, so just wrapping up here for my closing thoughts. Uh, I believe that the competition between the Pokemon Company and Palworld should not be seen as a bad thing, but instead a good thing for us consumers. So hopefully we will get a excellent next Pokemon game, right? Whether that be, a Legend Celebi, Black 2, or not Black 2, a Black 3, White 3, or Legends Kyurem, or whatever that might be. The competition between these two companies that I believe will be starting should be seen as a good thing for us, not a bad thing. Granted, there may have been some use of AI or some sort of design stealing on Palworld's team, which I do agree is a completely wrong thing, but that's a video for another day. There should be there should be a silver lining in this, in the sense that the competition for us consumers is an excellent thing, and we should always see it as an excellent thing when two companies like this are essentially fighting for our dollars, for our hard-earned money. But yeah, anyways, if you guys like the video, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Sorry for not uploading for a while, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. What's your thoughts and everything between the two companies and everything like that. And yeah, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you don't, I'm gonna come find you, and don't test me on that, because I will. But yeah, thank you guys. See you later. Bye.